Hello friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name is Amy and we are in Bible study. We are in the Nev and we will be through 2025. And in this video, we are in Genesis chapter 47 and it is verses 1 through 31. We are doing the whole chapter. Now, in the last chapter, Jacob, or Israel, and Joseph, who he thought to be dead for at least a decade, have just been reunited. And Joseph has to introduce his family to Pharaoh. And he's told them what he wants them to say about their profession, so they will, leave him alone and not make him stay in temple court, be in like the court situation kind of things. So, chapter 47, verse 1. Still, this is a continuation of Jacob goes to Egypt. Joseph went and told Pharaoh, "My father and brothers, with their flock and herds and everything they own, have come from the land of Canaan and are now in Goshen." He chose 5 of his brothers and presented them before Pharaoh. Pharaoh asked, "What is your occupation?" "Your servants are shepherds," they replied to Pharaoh, "just as our fathers were. They also said to him, "We have come to live here a while, because of the famine is severe in Canaan, and your servants' flocks have no pasture. So now please, let your servants settle in Goshen." Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Your father and brothers have come to you, and the land of Egypt is before you. Settle your father and your brothers in the best part of the land. Let them live in Goshen. And if you know any among you with any among them with special ability, put them in charge of my own livestock." Then Joseph brought his father Jacob, and presented him before Pharaoh. After Jacob blessed Pharaoh, or greeted, Pharaoh asked him, "How old are you?" And Jacob said to Pharaoh, "The years of my pilgrimage are 130. My years have been few and difficult, but they do not equal the years of the pilgrimage of my fathers." Then Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from his presence. Okay. So Joseph settled his father and brothers in Egypt and gave them property in the best part of the land, in the district of Ramesses, as Pharaoh directed. Joseph also provided his father and brother and all of the household with food according to the number of their children. So their portion, based upon the number of people in the household. So Joseph and the famine. There was no food, however, in the whole region because the famine was severe. Both Egypt and Canaan wasted away because of the famine. Joseph had collected all the money that was to be found in Egypt and Canaan in payment for the grain they were buying, and he brought it to Pharaoh's palace. When the money of the people of Egypt and Canaan had gone, all Egypt came to Joseph and said, "Give us food. Why should we die before your eyes? Our money is used up." "Then bring your livestock," said Joseph. "I will sell you food in exchange for your livestock, since your money is gone." So they brought their livestock to Joseph, and he gave them food in exchange for their horses, their sheep, their goats, their cattle, donkeys. And he brought them through that year with food in exchange for all their livestock. When the year was over, they came to him the following year. "We cannot hide from our Lord the fact that since our money is gone and our livestock belongs to you, there's nothing left for our Lord except our bodies and our land. Why should we perish before your eyes when we and our land as well? Buy us and our land in exchange for food, and with our land we will be in bondage to Pharaoh. Give us seed so that we may live and not die, and that the land may not become desolate." So Joseph bought all the land in Egypt for Pharaoh. The Egyptians, one and all, sold their fields because the famine was too severe for them. The land became Pharaoh's, and Joseph reduced the people to servitude. see. So in the Samaritan Pentateuch, the Septuagint, also Vulgate, the Masoretic text, he moved the people into the cities from one end of Egypt to the other. However, he did not buy the land of the priests because they received a regular allotment from Pharaoh and food enough from the allotment that Pharaoh gave them. They were already under the protection of Pharaoh. That is why they did not sell their land. So he just in one swoop enslaved all of Egypt in one motion. Joseph said to the people, "Now that I have bought you and your land today for Pharaoh, here is the seed for you, so you can plant it in the ground. But when the crop comes in, give a fifth of it to Pharaoh. The other 4/5 you may keep as seed for the field and the food for yourself and your household and your children. You have saved our lives," they said. "May we find favor in the eyes of our Lord. We will be in bondage to Pharaoh." So they're excited about being in bondage to Pharaoh. So Joseph established it as a law concerning the land of Egypt, still in force today. No, not really. That the land was the only the land of the priests that did not become pharaohs. Now the Israelites settled in Egypt in the region of Goshen. I say that it still doesn't exist because Egypt at this point in the time I'm recording this has become like a democracy and a republic, and they have a president and people get elected. Now, what anybody feels about the politics of Egypt, I'm not getting into that. It's just that the land isn't owned by Pharaoh and everybody's not a slave. They have elections. Thank goodness. Verse 27. Now the Israelites settled in Egypt in the region of Goshen. They acquired property there and were fruitful and increased greatly in number. Jacob lived in Egypt 17 years, and the years of his life were 147. When the time drew near for Israel to die, he called for his son Joseph and said to him, "If I have found favor in your eyes, put your hand under my thigh and promise that you will show me kindness and faithfulness. Do not bury me in Egypt, but when I rest with my fathers, carry me out of Egypt and bury me where they are buried," which is in that cave in the land of Canaan, the cave of Machpelah, near Hebron. "Swear to me," he said. Then Joseph swore to him, and Israel worshipped as he leaned on the top of his staff, D, where Israel bowed down at the head of his bed. They don't know where he was when he started worshiping, but he bowed his something, and he worshipped. But he made his son make a promise on himself and his father's persons. So there's that.